When I was in my late teens and early 20s, I began to develop an interest in the spiritual world and esoteric stuff. Tarot cards, oracle cards, crystals, pendulums, that sort of stuff. I went to one of those spirituality stores with my mom and her friend, who would practice Wicca at the time, because we all wanted to buy ourselves a pendulum. Pendulums are interesting because they change the way they spin depending on the answer to a question you ask. Yes is a circle. No is a straight line. It was my first one, so I was a bit excited. My mom's friend told me that I would know which one was right for me. It would call to me, she said. I browsed through the store a bit, looked at all the different pendulums and crystals, and felt drawn to a pear-shaped rose quartz pendulum. So I bought it and I took it home with me. I kept this pendulum for a while, learned how to use it and all that stuff. No major concerns. Until one day, my pendulum just disappeared. I could not find it anywhere. It legitimately vanished into thin air. I was quite upset about this. I saw my mom's friend, the one that practiced Wicca, a few days later, and told her what had happened. She told me, "These things happen for a reason, and it will come back to you when you need it again. It left you because you don't need it right now." Interesting, I thought, but I still wanted a pendulum. So I went and bought a new one, a little while later, and forgot about the rose quartz one. Fast forward several years. I came home from school one day. I was in university, early mid-20s, and walked past the stairway leading downstairs to go to the kitchen. Nothing out of the ordinary. It was a typical day at school and at home. I decided I would do some laundry, which is located in the basement. So I began to walk down the stairs I had just walked past before. I froze at the top of the stairs. My heart sunk and I felt a chill go down my spine. Sitting at the foot of the staircase, in the middle of the room, was my rose quartz crystal that I had last seen about 3 to 4 years earlier. I was in shock. I have no idea where this thing was hiding and where it appeared from. But there it was, at the foot of the staircase, as if someone had intentionally placed it there. I walked down the stairs slowly, looked around. No sign of my mom or my brother. I was home alone. I picked up the pendulum. Yup, it was the one I had lost. I decided I would keep it in my purse. Clearly, this thing had appeared for a reason, but I wasn't sure what the reason was, yet. The following week, I went to work and I was still giddy about finding my old rose quartz pendulum. My co-worker was very into the spiritual world and crystals, so I decided to tell her what happened and get her thoughts on the whole situation. She was intrigued by my story and asked me if I knew what rose quartz crystal represented. I said no. She then continued to tell me that rose quartz represents unconditional love. This was shocking to me, as I had just gotten back together with my boyfriend. We had just gone through a break and actually had just gotten back together just a few days before the rose quartz appeared again. I took this as a sign that he was my love. Fast forward a few years again. That boyfriend and I have now been married for 3 years. We did go through another breakup, but ended up finding our way back to each other again. As for the rose quartz, well, I threw it out my car window as I was driving down the highway one day, because to be honest, it began to creep me out a little bit. I carried it in my purse with me for many years up until that point. Just thought of it knowing when I did or didn't need it made me a bit uncomfortable. Last time, it ended its connection to me. This time, I ended my connection with it. Now it lays somewhere in a farmer's field, lost to me again. Sometimes I wonder if it will find its way back to me again, as it did before.